Okay, let's call this meeting the Haysville Planning Commission to order. The first item of business is the roll call.
Meyer,
Here.
Hatcher, Williams,
Here.
Coleman,
Here.
Zier,
Present.
Weatherton, Franklin,
Here.
Franken, Plummer,
Here. Next item of business is the presentation and approval of minutes of September 24th, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Anybody that wasn't there that needs to abstain? Nicole, were you there?
Oh, I guess I wasn't. Abstain.
I think that covers everybody. The next item is a public hearing to consider a zone change request from A to BB for 328 North Ward Parkway, vacant lot. Start with the script. Does staff present before, or
during.
I guess during? So this reads, I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing to consider a zone change request from A, single family to BB, 1 and 2 family for property generally known as 328 North Ward Parkway.
I'll enter such a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and second to open the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Have any commissioners, so we now formally open the public hearing. Have any commissioners had any outside contact regarding this project? If so, please indicate whom you have spoken and the nature of this conversation. Hearing none, we'll move on. Do any members of the commission have a conflict of interest in this matter? If so, please disqualify yourself from further action on the planning commission for this case. You may choose to speak as a member of the public. Hearing none, we'll move on. The city has the city received any written or electronic communications on this matter? If so, please read or describe them.
Yes, we have, it is in the packet, and I will cover it in the staff report. I need to change that.
Okay. Will staff please present the information regarding this case?
So you have a copy of the staff report in front of you. The request is for a zone change from A single family to BB 1 and 2 family in order to construct 1 duplex. The property was platted as part of the Open Door Church Edition in 1975, and a single family residential home was built sometime in the late 70s to early 80s. The structure caught fire in the early 2000s and was demolished around 2008-2009. The property was most recently sold in 2020. Public hearing notices were mailed on February 8th, and then it was published in the newspaper on January 28th. And looking at the zone change, we do look at the 8 criteria that we have to consider. I'm going to go through these. The first one is zoning uses and characteristic of the neighborhood. The property is a vacant lot. Adjacent properties are zoned for A, single family, and C, manufactured homes. It's not uncommon for this area to have BB 1 and 2 family as indicated on the map in your packet. 2, suitability of the subject property for the uses to which it has been restricted. Property is currently zoned A, single family, is limited to single family detached homes, accessory uses, and parks. However, the site as well as the surrounding zones and land uses would remain compatible with the BB district. Number 3, extent to which the removal of the restrictions will detrimentally affect nearby property. Staff does not foresee any detrimental impacts to nearby property if the request is granted. The property will remain residential and has the same size, height, and setback regulations as the existing zoning. Number 4, length of the time subject property has remained vacant as zoned. As stated before, the property was platted as part of the open door addition. It's been sold multiple times and remained vacant, and since 2008 to 2009, a vacant lot. Number 5, relative gain to the public health, safety, and welfare as compared to the loss in value of the hardship imposed upon the applicant. The health and safety and welfare matters associated with the proposed BB 1 and 2 family zoning should not be significantly different than those associated with the existing A single family zoning. Number 6, conformance of the requested change to the adopted or recognized comprehensive plan. Haysville's land use plan identifies the property as residential. The comprehensive plan provides the following goal for housing, provide a variety of housing choices for current and future populations. 7, impact of the proposed development on community facilities. Municipal water and sewer is available to the property. Services such as police and fire protection are already provided, so no additional burden is anticipated. Number 8, opposition or support of neighborhood residents. Page 7 in your packet has these comments listed. One property owner has indicated their opposition. On January 1st, I received a call from Linda West. She stated she opposed the change for the following reasons. The basement was left in the ground from the previous structure. This was not disclosed to the buyer. She believes it will decrease the value of her property. She also emailed me on February 8th. You do have the letter in your packet. I will let you read through that. It is quite lengthy. And then number 9, recommendation of staff. Staff is supportive of the proposed zone change based on the preceding factors. Stand for any questions you might have.
I don't have questions per se, but on item 4, an item at the bottom you skipped over, was that you've had nuisance abatement problems with this property in the past.
In 2010 and 2014 with previous owners, not this owner now, but yes,
When it was a vacant lot?
yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming that is mowing, I'm not sure of that, but that's what I,
I assume that too, but I just wanted to highlight that. Do any commissioners have any questions for staff?
Yeah, I have one question. I don't know how relevant this is, but that area is, the streets are not paved. Is there any plan in the future to, I don't know why but that kind of bothers me that it's not paved.
I believe there's 2 streets over there, and it's going to end up at their Sunset Fields with the project that was just approved through a grant. It'll be one of the very few remaining. I don't know of any future plans to pave it. I can look into that and let you know, but at this time, I don't know of anything.
Yeah, that's, like I say, I don't know why, it just kind of bothers me.
The city is, you know where Sunset Fields is? At 63rd and Seneca?
Okay,
That neighborhood also has dirt streets,
Yeah.
and the city's got funding to pave that, and that's coming in the next couple months. And I think whether it's stated or not, the plan is to move to this neighborhood and some of the other dirt roads next. It's a matter of funding and how we get there.
Okay.
Yeah, long-term, there's very few roads that are gonna be left that are unpaved after this.
okay. And then one more question is, how many times or approximately, or even if you know, have we done this like spot zone change for just one property?
I'm not sure of that. Angie, do you know?
Well, if you think back to our last meeting, that's exactly what we did there.
Right,
So prior to that, it's relatively rare, but I don't know that I would be able to say that anything is regular and consistent with City of Haysville planning. We kind of take what comes at us as it comes at us, and this is not unique, but not necessarily common either.
right.
I mean, when was the last time we looked at a full residential subdivision? That's not unique either, just we haven't had one in a while, so I don't know if that answers your question or not.
It does, and yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Thank you. Are the applicants or their agent present? Please step forward. State your name and address for the record.
Dustin Evans, 1543 South Walnut, Wichita.
Do you have anything to present?
I don't
Or you just
know,
want to
no.
stand for questions?
I'd be open to any questions, but I sent in pretty much everything that I had on the property.
Okay. You
I
don't
sent in a
have,
blueprint, and
maybe just a little bit about why you want to do this here?
well, that's what I do. I'm an investor, and I do build duplexes and have quite a few properties. And I purchased this property late last year, and that's what I did. It's a big lot. It's a nice, quiet neighborhood. That's what I look for.
So you manage these and rent them out?
I manage them all, yes.
And do you contract out or do yourself the exterior maintenance? Or do you leave that up to the homeowner or the renter?
No, the renter actually does all the mowing and things like that.
Okay.
Yes.
But he's probably asking about outside maintenance, painting and so on.
I take care of all that. Yes.
But the day-to-day mowing is on the renter themselves?
Yes.
Okay. Is it fenced and will it be fenced?
It is fenced now. Yes,
Okay.
and it'll stay
And that's in
fenced.
decent condition?
No, I would say no. The three sides of it are. The fourth side, which is the south side, it's not the best.
Okay, is that gonna be addressed when you,
It will, yes,
Okay.
it will. There is a current fence there. It's just, there was a tree from the neighbor that came over onto the fence, but yeah, we will.
as part of the construction process?
Yes.
Fix all that up? Okay. Any other questions for the applicant?
Yeah, what about the basement that's there? What are your plans to do with that?
We actually just tear right through the foundation of it, and then we'll dispose of the concrete.
Apparently, it's full of a bunch of debris.
I wouldn't doubt that. It looks like it's settled really good now because it's all flat. And that's one thing I look for whenever I go to build. And it's not uncommon for us to have a footing in there, and we don't know what it is, whether it's a cinder block or whether it's poured in there, but hopefully.
But your intention is to remove all that and start over?
No, it will not all be removed. Just
Okay.
where our footings are, it will be.
So you're
removed.
just going to 4-foot stem walls or
Yes.
spread footings?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for the applicant? Thanks, sir. Now's the time for any other member of the public to speak. You have 5 minutes. Seeing no other members of the public, we will move on. Any questions of the public from the commission? I assume there are none. I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing for the commission action.
I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Deb. Motion and second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Floor is now open to commission members' deliberation and comments. The following 8 considerations and their applicability to this zone change request. We're working on wording there.
I think it's just telling
I
you
mean,
to go
it's
to
a-
the next page.
Where you at?
At the bottom of the first page of the script.
Oh,
I mean, I think it's a complete sentence, but
So, I think what she's getting at is now's the time for the planning commission to discuss.
we should consider the following
Yes.
8 considerations and their applicability to this zone change request.
Base your findings on those 8
Yes.
criteria.
That's what I get for just following the script. That's on me. I don't need to reread these, right?
You do not.
Okay, thank you. So, discussion. No thoughts, Fred?
No.
Nicole?
No, I'm just kind of struggling with the first one.
The character of the neighborhood?
Yeah.
So, in the packet, we've got pictures of examples. I'm assuming that's the same floor plan or similar. Elevations of what those look like and floor plans of what the interior would be. And maybe first blush is, yeah, that's not a single-family residence, but that's exactly what we're here to talk about. Is it in the style and does it fit into the neighborhood even though it's two-family instead of one family? I mean, first, it's an improvement over a vacant lot that's been vacant for quite some time. And I think any development in that neighborhood would be beneficial to a vacant lot, especially if it's got nuisance problems. And in my personal opinion, this is on a bigger lot, so it doesn't feel like it's crammed into too close together. Yes, it's multi-family, two-family, but would function more like a single-family home than most other uses in that neighborhood. You know, you get into the questions of two families is twice as many vehicles and things like that, but at the same time, I remember when I was in high school and all of my siblings were in high school, and our front yard looked like a used car lot because all the kids in high school with their high school affordable cars, it maybe wasn't the best, but it's not something that the zoning code is going to be able to fix. So I think newer residents in that neighborhood could be beneficial. I understand there are concerns from the adjacent property owners, but the other thing for me that is important is this is directly adjacent to manufactured housing. And the natural buffer between those two uses is multifamily. And while we're not creating a true buffer, that function on that line is, in my mind, what is the best use between those two. If this was in the middle of the neighborhood, I think I might have a different opinion. If this was on a smaller lot, I think I might have a different opinion. But I think for this use in this specific place, much like the last case that we saw, I think it makes sense as a natural progression between manufactured housing and single-family residential.
And I think the exterior of this blends well with the exterior of the houses that are currently there. There's a few brick in there, but there's, most of them are sided.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It will be grass.
Yes. In the front, if I can speak, in the front, you can see us in the photos there.
I don't know if that's picking you up on the mic or not. You might want to step back up to the, probably is with our new tech in here, but.
As you can see in one of the pictures that I have here, all the way over to the property line, we're trying to keep the maintenance down on them for
Yeah.
mowing or, and you can see I've gravelled all the way across. There's enough room there for 4 vehicles to be able to park in just the parking on the driveway. And there's actually gravel to the side so we can keep away from weeds and things like that, grass mowing. So they will have there is a backyard in it that they can have grass.
Nicole, or anyone else, if you have thoughts, please, I'd like to discuss them.
I know concerns typically are the upkeep, how well the renters in this case will be keeping it up. Are you going to oversee that, or is that just gonna fall back on the city?
As far as upkeep,
Mowing and,
no, the mowing is on the
I
tenant.
know,
and they-
I know, but,
And
so, we've got limitations on how high the grass can get here, so,
I've been doing this for 10 years and I've never had a letter yet. So I'm pretty punctual on my, if they don't keep it up, I'll go mow it myself.
okay,
and
and
they
that's
get
what
it.
I'm asking,
Yes,
yeah, that's what I'm asking.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we want to keep them nice and, you know, for the city as well, but we want to keep it nice for ourselves. We don't want someone to run our properties down.
right. And there's no, protection for storms with these, there's not a safe room or a,
No, ma'am.
okay.
Any other discussion? Was there a motion?
I would make a motion that we approve requests from A single family to BB 1 and 2 family for the property at 328 North Parkway, Ward Parkway, sorry.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and second to approve. All in favor?
All right.
Those opposed? Okay. Thank you, sir. Is there any new business? Is no old business, correspondence and informational reading? Does anybody have any committee updates from the last 6 months?
Nobody
Are
can-
committees still meeting?
No,
No, they're not.
So do we
Mine
have
haven't.
vacancies?
We do have vacancies, and we should probably discuss that. I don't know what efforts are being made to try to fill those, and if that's even possible in the middle of all this, but now that we're putting this glorious new room on TV, maybe that'll help.
We have periodically publicized vacant positions.
Do I need to make a public plea to the citizens of Haysville to please
That
take your
or-
civic duty and bring it here to the Haysville Planning Commission, where your efforts will be greatly appreciated?
Or if any of you know of any members of the community that are interested in the
All my
growth-
friends are already in this room.
I know.
Okay, who should they call if they're interested?
Georgie.
Here at City Hall.
Okay.
Okay, no off-agenda items. Item 10.
I'd make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Let's try to do this again soon.